democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
I don't think they were persuaded by the government's position here. At the very end, the government's lawyer actually said, and he's a long-time appellate lawyer for the Department of Justice. He's not a brand new lawyer from the Trump administration or something like that. And he's used to doing this. And he said, I don't think I'm persuading you guys. Maybe I better try to get you to limit the scope of this injunction as opposed to vacating it. So I think he got the signal. He had one Republican-appointed judge here, Clifton. Judge Clifton was actually relatively hostile to the government's lawyer in the opening argument, particularly on the issue of standing. The government was saying they shouldn't even have standing, and Judge Clifton kind of was hitting them with a lot of different cases and facts, and I thought made it clear they're going to reach the merits of this. They're not going to just dismiss it because there's no standing. Judge Canby, who's a very experienced and, brilliant judge who clerked for the United States Supreme Court himself about 40 or 50 years ago, is a very gentle guy, but he asked some pretty hard questions. And at one point he said, what if this order actually said out loud, no Muslims allowed, would that be okay? And the government's lawyer said, well, that's not this case. And he said, I know it's not this case. I want an answer to my question. The lawyer danced away again, and then Judge Clifton came in and said, we would like an answer to that question. So I thought the judges were tough on the government's lawyer. I thought they were pretty tough on the Washington lawyer too. The Washington lawyer, I think, didn't argue this case as strategically as he might have. I think he felt going in that it was likely going his way. So I think he seemed more interested in saying to the court, why don't you write a reasoned opinion, he said, sort of assuming it would go his way, because this is going to go for review to the United States Supreme Court. And he was certainly right about that if they're going to send it up there for review, they maybe want to write a more careful opinion. So, on balance, it doesn't sound like the court is going to grant the motion to vacate the stay. They might try to narrow that, or they might deny the motion and send it back to the trial court to narrow it, which strikes me as probably the more strategic decision. But I think either way, the Trump administration is going to take it up to the Supreme Court.
What do you think the full time to invent?
Sure, yeah.